move this back just a little
Let's begin our updates. And we'll start with Alberta and the territories, Kathy.
Well, it is, in fact, Carrie Galusha and her team that are lying too buried behind a long corner guard. And even though they're deep in the house and they're guarded, for Laura, it's going to be a force no matter what. So ignoring where they are and using the path for the draw to the button.
As mentioned, this is a team, Alberta, that has worked a lot on the mental side of the game. And that doubt is creeping back when it comes to the team from the Saville Community Sports Center, having lost 2 in a row and had the opportunity to win it last night and coughed it up and will just make the draw and to pick up the early lead. Let's drop in on the game with Alberta against the Northwest Territories. Alberta opened with a single. Final stone coming up now. Carrie Galusha, Yellowknife.
Well, Alberta was lying 3 behind the tee line, and that lonely yellow that you saw in there was Carrie Galusha's first one. She drew in there. It is the shot stone. Laura Walker tried to follow her, and she's biting the hearts, but it is second shot, so needs a big piece of the button for 2.
Right to it. Yes, you gotta buff it. Yes, right to it. Right to it. All the way. All the way. All the way. Go, go, go.
Big drag now for Shona Barber and Margot Fleming, and no. So it'll be that one sitting center line back edge of the button to tie it at 1.
Yeah.
Just 6 inches more weight or a touch more ice.
I know.
To the other side of the wind sport, and a 1-1 tie. Final stone quickly on its way. Laura Walker, Alberta.
Well, she tried the double on her first, just stuffed it. That allowed Carrie Galusha to replace it. This is the double for 2.
1, run it back, and stuffed it again. So it ends up being a steal of 1 for Galusha. All right, right next door there, it's Alberta against Northwest Territories. Alberta lining it up right now. Kate Cameron has the brush down for skipper Laura Walker.
Well, this is not without risk. Laura had a great opportunity on her first one to tap the red stone onto the yellow to lie 3 and just overthrew it and went by the outside, and Carrie Galusha capped that side off. This is the triple raise.
Overcurl could be a steal.
Oh, it is with risk.
Trying to hold on, tap it back, tap, tap, and not. And that one right there on the lid belonging to Galusha, Carrie Galusha out of Yellowknife. And so that's back-to-back steals.
I throw 8.5, I guess.
That's senior moment number 23. I'm sorry, it was Alberta that did pick up the single. And so they are tied at 2 with the Territories. Walker, Galusha, and after Walker scored that single, this is the final stone for Carrie Galusha out of Yellowknife.
Well, let me say it for you, Vic. That was a mess, and it has been a mess for Alberta. She has been facing 4. That red stone, that is second shot, was just a beautiful come-around draw by Laura Walker on her first to keep her team in contention in this end. And so Carrie Galusha now trying to get to the hearts for the second point.
66% on her draws so far in the event.
It's okay. Now it's 1 for sure.
I got rid of that one.
Yeah, no doubt.
That one's overcurled on me.
Yes, 1 yellow.
1 yellow, 1 for Galusha. They'll go to the break up 3-2.
Here. Bump. I think swap in front.
Well, just before the last shot that Carrie Galusha sprayed those stones out, there were 3 grouped on the button, and that was because of a wonderful shot made by Laura Walker on her first, where not only she removed a stone, but she actually rolled on the lid. Carrie got rid of 1, but it is 2 belonging to Alberta. This is a draw, needs full 8 foot for 3.
79% on her draws through the event so far. Laura Walker and the team from the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton. Last year they went 3 and 4 in Moose Jaw.
I think even if I was heavy
1,
with
2,
the
and 3.
pick, I was just going into those 2.
That will help her, I'm sure.
3, sorry, Bill.
At least seeing her smile again.
That's a huge 3, Vic, because as we've talked, 2 losses in a row, losing to Territories at the moment. That's a big 3.
Yeah, it's like deja vu from last year. They win this one, and they can turn things into a different ending.
Just updating the game between Alberta and Northwest Territories. They put a blank on the board in 7, but it took a measure. And one of the few times, rare times, you see a tied measure. Both stones equal distant. They needed 2 officials, and they went around at least 8 times. Kate Cameron, the Alberta third, said longest measure she's been part of. So one of the rarities in the game. The tied stones goes on the board as a blank.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty good.
Sneaky roll. Yeah, those measures, it ties, everybody goes, oh, no big deal. But it is a big deal because instead of the team with hammer being forced to 1, they now continue to have hammer for the next end. And in this case, and it's the Territories against Alberta 2 down. If they get 2 in the 8th end, it's a tie ball game.
Well, after that measure, which resulted in a blank, let's go to the 8th. Walker against Galusha. Final stone on the way for Carey out of Yellowknife.
Well, Alberta has had 2 locked on the lid for much of this end. Laura playing 2 guards, probably the easiest shot she's played all game. And Carey hitting the guard on the first and trying to get through that hole.
And there's could be 3. No, slides on through, but there are the 2 locked, and they go on the board for Alberta.
2 red.
What? That's it exactly. Big points, you guys.
So Zacharias, the reigning Canadian and world junior champion, suffers the loss on this Tuesday afternoon. Quickly, let's go over, Kathy, talk about Carey Galusha, her final stone against Laura Walker in Alberta, playing 9.
Well, with nothing in play, Carey went around a guard, and then Laura followed her. Laura is shot, but it's not frozen. And with the ice that you saw, this is trying to get across the face for 2.
Margot Fleming, Shauna Barber, dear. And 1 it'll be, and that is the steal of 1.
Good luck.
And good luck means it's over.
Thank you.
And so Alberta, boy, that's a big win for them. After winning their first 3, they've dropped 2. Now they
Back on track, you guys.
will shake off the nerves and pick up the win. 8-3, the final. We'll update the standings and this afternoon draw when we come back to the Scotties in Calgary.